Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for listening to USB, Unaffiliated Sports Broadcast. Thank you for being with me. Sorry, it's been a minute. Been out doing a few things, took some time off. You guys took time off, so I figured I could. And then I found out you guys are all still doing sports. So, hey, today we're joined with a special guest of ours, quarterback for Grantsville High School, #1 Dallan Van Vliet. I've been a huge fan of this kid since I saw him his freshman year. He just, you could tell he had what it takes, and it's an absolute pleasure of mine to be able to have him on the show today. So I hope you guys are excited for it. And yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about a few other things too, but then we're going to get into it with Dallan here, and should be a good episode, a good break back into the habit of podcasting, I guess you could call it, and interviewing as we get closer to football season. I know the teams are already working and doing all their stuff, but we don't have any games till about middle of August, so figure it's a good way to get in there, and hopefully we can get some of Tooele, Stansbury, and hopefully Deseret Peak in there as well, which we do need to introduce Deseret Peak. Oh man, I forgot to record this, and now I'm gonna have to wait till it uploads. Oh well, not a big deal. Hopefully, we do need to incorporate Deseret Peak a little bit because they'll be starting out with us this year. That's an interesting scenario over there. They don't have any seniors. They will only have 9th through 11th grade over there. So be interesting to see what they do with that. And, you know, can't wait to see it. Hopefully we can get some of them on. I did reach out to them. I think they might have got back to me, but I didn't recognize the name. I don't know. I'm going to have to get back into it. But nonetheless, let's talk about a little bit of what we got going on this 4th of July weekend out here in Grantsville in particular. Grantsville does a pretty good job. I think I've lived in a few different places, and Grantsville really does a good job with their 4th of July celebrations. You know, the parade's something to, the parade's a little rough sometimes. There's no shade. It gets really hot. But everything else that they do a really good job with. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a good time. As you can see on the screen there, if you're watching on the YouTube live, everything's streaming across the bottom there. Kind of gives you a little bit of an update, but the flyer is also up there as well. Now, today is not Wednesday. Today is Tuesday. Holy cow, I need to get my life together. So tomorrow, they're doing the 3-on-3 soccer tournament. I don't know how that works. I did see a video of people wearing boxing gloves playing soccer, and they were kind of punching each other while they were going through it. I don't know if that's how you do 3-on-3 soccer, but that's my type of 3-on-3 soccer. I'd be down for that all day long. But yeah, that'll be at the soccer fields across the street from Grantsville High School at the City Park or Cherry Street Park, whatever you want to call it. That starts for 12 and under. Registration starts at 1:30 p.m. Games start at 2. 13 and older is 4:30 registration. Games starting at 5, and the cost is $20 per team. They also have the home run derby tomorrow, and that'll be at the baseball fields, which is also located across the street from Grantsville High School, connected with the City Park, Cherry Park, whatever. That will be at 6 p.m. and the cost is $5 per player. And Peyton Cummings better get out there and win that one, because he killed it for him this year. I imagine he wants to get out there and win that, but we'll see. I don't know. And then Thursday, July 3rd, this is the one I'm really looking forward to. We've got the 3-on-3 basketball tournament, which I have been looking forward to. If you've been following the socials, I've been training, and I find it a little weird because, I ran into my man Dennis the Menace Castano the other day, and I told him I was training for this, and I told him he better watch out. And I think it was the day after is when they changed the brackets. So now I'm in the senior citizen group, and I can't help but think that it had something to do with old Dennis the Menace there. I don't know. I think he was scared a little bit. That's my guess. Dallan shaking his head, yes. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was scared?
Yeah, Dennis was definitely scared.
Oh man. Letting it fly. We haven't even got into the interview yet, folks, and he's letting it fly. All right, so again, 3-on-3 basketball tournament on Thursday. Grades 3 through 8, their registration is at 5 p.m. Grades 9 and up, grades 9 to adults, their registration is at 7 p.m. Game should start, I think, a half hour after that, roughly, give or take. And the cost is $20 per team. So not bad, especially if you split it up between 3 to 4 people. So definitely get out there and check that out. We will be there. I do have a team together. But unfortunately, I'm in the senior citizen bracket now, which, to be fair, it's probably a blessing in disguise. But I was getting prepared to have to run around with 18 and 19-year-olds. So I don't know. But let's see, we also have the Dusk Till Dawn tennis tournament that takes place at the tennis courts direct across from the high school at 7 p.m. Cost is $10 per player. And on Friday, July 4th, that's where all the shenanigans really kick off. We've got the Mountain Man Breakfast at the fire station in Grantsville. That's from 7 to 10 a.m. The cost is $8 per plate. They're doing face painting as well for a $5 donation. Cash and Venmo are accepted for both those. A silent auction at breakfast and park activities. The flag raising ceremony will also be at the fire station. That will take place at 8 a.m. If you are a 5K runner, the Ray Barris, I hope I said that correctly, 5K scholarship run will be at Grantsville High School at 7:30 a.m. with a kids fun run at 7 a.m. Friday, July 4th, still, the parade will take place at 11 a.m. Lineup begins at 10 a.m. for all those participants who will be involved in it. Main Street will be shut down at 10:30 a.m. So no need to hit Chihuahua County 411 100 times and ask why Main Street is shut down. You should have a brain. It's the 4th of July, and we still do fun stuff like parades. So that will be shutting down at 10:30. See the city website for route and no street parking. So make sure you keep off the streets. I'm sure I haven't been out there yet. I'll be out there this evening, though, because I'm headed to do some more practice for the basketball stuff. I'm sure there's probably already a bunch of chairs lined up and zip tied together or whatever they do. It's cool, but annoying at the same time. The Cherry Street Park activities are the car show, which will take place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's a pretty cool event. A lot of good cars out there. A lot of interesting cars as well. But that usually has a pretty big turnout, so that's pretty cool. The talent show will be 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. So come and enjoy some vendors, and they'll have bounce houses from 12 to 5 p.m. for the kids, food vendors from 12 p.m. to until the fireworks start going off, which will be at 10 p.m. In the same area. So the Cherry Street Park, City Park, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the City Park because I feel like the entire city uses it, but whatever. And then on Saturday, July 5th, the pickleball tournament, the tennis courts across from the high school. That is an online registration only. Okay, so if you need information on that, go to grantsvilleut.gov. You should be able to get that. 8 and older is recommended. However, it is not required. So if you got a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old that's a prodigy, the next Serena Williams of pickleball or something, get them out there. All right, the youth will be 1 p.m., $10 per team, and that's ages 8 to 5th grade completed. And then 6th grade to 8th grade completed as well. Those should be your different brackets for that, I believe. And then there's the adult mixed doubles from 6 p.m. They're charging $20 a team for that one. That's 9th grade to 12th grade completed. And it says novice competitive. So, and then also on Saturday, we have the cornhole tournament at Cherry Street Park by the tennis courts. Probably in the grass area, I would assume. That'll be at 5 p.m. 16 and under is one bracket, and then 17 plus. The cost is $10 per team. So that's what we got coming up. There was already some stuff that went on. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do anything for the volleyball tournament, but that was a pretty good turnout, pretty good time. We also had all the pageant stuff and things like that. So definitely a good time. Look this up, plan accordingly for next year. And be there because it really is a good time. And if nothing else, just come out and support. It's usually pretty good. Usually pretty good environment. There's usually some food there. I know they had food at the basketball tournament last year. I assume they'll probably have something similar there this year. And there's some pretty good teams that show out for this. So it's definitely a good time. Definitely worth you getting out there. Okay, so that catches us up with some stuff going on. I think I'll do another podcast to kind of introduce Deseret Peak and everything into our football. We'll do one that's just football specific after the 4th of July. I think we'll just pick up from there. But I wanted to get this young man in here because one, I'm doing something different. He's actually here in studio office / vacant room in my house. instead of on the phone. And I wanted to see if it was going to work. So I really hope that this turns out well. And worst case scenario, it doesn't. And we'll do it again as the season gets closer, or at some point in the season, hopefully, when we have a few more things to talk about. But we do have some questions for him today, and I'm absolutely thrilled that he's able to be here. And yeah, the floor is all yours, young man. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us something we wouldn't know from a stat line.
I'm 16, and I really like football and basketball. But this year I'm going to start wrestling, so that's new for me. I've never wrestled before. My off time, I just like to go fish and hang out with friends.
Now, do you catch anything when you fish, or is it just kind of you just like to do
We
it?
usually catch some big ones, some small ones.
Right, all right. What's the biggest fish you caught so far this year?
I caught like a 6-pound bass like earlier this week at Stansbury.
Nice. Well, that's good to know that there's still young kids out there that get out there and do that. I know, my son will go with you guys sometimes, and it's kind of nice that you guys still get out there and do that stuff, especially with all the technology stuff that can be a distraction nowadays. I think it's really cool. Anything else about yourself?
That's it.
That's it, he says. Okay, well, I dropped the ball on my end, and we need to change the screen because nobody wants to see the 3-on-3 advertisement anymore. We're talking to Dallan Van Vliet, quarterback, Grantsville High School. Now, you're going into your junior year, is that correct? So your freshman year was pretty wild. I know there was a lot of back and forth of who was going to be the quarterback there for a while. And then, unfortunate for him and fortunate for you, Evan Bunderston, a player that we really like around here, he ends up getting hurt pretty good, collarbone, if I remember correctly. And you stepped in. How was that nerve-wracking for you? How did that feel?
Going into that game, I was looking forward to hoping to play. So I was just trying to get mentally prepared, but yeah, I was still definitely nervous, but I just had to go through it,
Now, that was kind of a rough season for you guys. You guys went 6-6, if I recall correctly, and you threw for roughly around 1,200-ish yards. I think it was like 5 interceptions or something like that, but not too bad, not too shabby at all. How did that season help boost your confidence, or did you already kind of have that confidence and you just kind of needed to showcase it?
I kind of already had the confidence, but I just needed to it definitely motivated me to do better my sophomore year, and I was a lot more confident because I had more experience, I would say.
Yeah, no, you definitely did better. Looking at the stats from last year, you were about 47% with 153 for 323, and you threw for 2,100 yards pretty much, 2,137 to be exact, and you ended up with 10 interceptions, but you also doubled your attempts. So, I mean, that kind of makes sense. And you had 21 touchdowns on the season. And then on top of that, you also had 162 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, which I think is actually lower than the year before, if I'm not mistaken. What do you attribute to the level of success that you saw from your freshman year to your sophomore year?
I feel like the coaching staff just trusted me more. From my freshman year, they thought I could throw the ball more, so we definitely started throwing more than we ran the ball. So I feel like that's why I didn't have as much rushing yards and rushing attempts, but I also had a lot more pass yards.
Sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, a freshman quarterback. I mean, I'd imagine if I was the coach, I'd be a little apprehensive to give you too much. You know what I mean? But you definitely did a great job, in my opinion. And then, yeah, this last year, I think you did a phenomenal job. When I was looking back at the schedule from last year, you guys started out with San Juan, which I think a lot of people expected you guys to lose that. What do you think?
Yeah, we were definitely the underdogs going into that. They had a 46-0 win streak, so 3 seasons without losing. So we came with an edge on our shoulder, I guess. We were looking to break that streak, and that's what we did.
So looking at that game, it wasn't your highest QBR, but it was a pretty phenomenal game for you. You ended up throwing for 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. against a very good team. I mean, they're definitely no scrubs. And you guys also faced them first game this season. Is that correct?
Correct.
So what are you expecting from that? You think it'll be more of the same, or what's your prediction?
I'm really excited for that one because I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I definitely think we'll come out on top. But it'll be a good game.
Right on. So you lose Jaden Atkinson. He was a huge contributor to your guys' offense last year. But he graduates, and you've got it's looking like Rigdon Murdoch, if I'm not mistaken, right? Who's looking like he's probably gonna get the shot. He's obviously a different runner. Do you think that that's gonna put more on you in the passing game, or because Jaden was shifty, he would break loose for big gains, and Rigdon's more of a power runner. I feel like based off what I've seen, which is minimal to be fair, but he's more of a power runner. Do you think he's going to be able to break out for those big ones like Jaden did, just in a different way, or do you think that it's going to be more on the passing game to get you guys down the field?
I completely agree with you. He is definitely a power runner, but he also has some wheels on him. That boy is fast.
All right. Is he shifty? I mean, I know he's been hitting the weights and stuff like that. I saw his posts and things that he does, but is he shifty or is he just trying to run people over?
I think he's just trying to run people over, but if he has to get shifty, he will.
Right on. Well, that'll be interesting. You should also have two returning wide receivers for you who really did a fantastic job last year for you. It was absolutely crazy how good those two were doing. You have Jackson Jensen, who got 685 receiving yards last year on 32 receptions, 7 touchdowns for you guys. Then you got Jordan Fossen, 622 yards. This is according to Max Prep, so if any of this is wrong, don't burn down my house, okay? But 622 yards for him on 50 receptions and 7 touchdowns as well. Who is it I'm thinking of? I think it was Tice. Was Fuentes the one who got nailed in the center at that Morgan game?
Yeah, it was Tice.
Yeah, no, he did really good for you guys on those snags. I was surprised he held on to that. So you've got a really good group. Fuentes is obviously gone, but you've got Jackson Jensen and Jordan Fossen coming back. How excited are you for what they provided for you guys last year, and what do you guys hope to improve upon?
I'm really excited, and I'm glad that they were just like juniors when they did that last year, so we still have them this year. But I think they're going to have an even better year than they did last year. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Is there anything that you guys collectively want to improve upon, though?
Definitely less like incompletions and interceptions from me, but also more touchdowns all around.
And you say less interceptions. Is there something that you identified that you feel was something you could improve? And if so, what was that?
Yeah, it was definitely something I can improve on, like with choice making, like decisions, and not throwing to like double coverage.
Was that just a byproduct of you trying to make something happen, or how did that come about?
Yeah, it's just me being greedy and trying to make plays.
That's fair, and that's an honest assessment. And honestly, that I like that answer. It says a lot about you. It's not always easy to admit our shortcomings sometimes. So, well, right on. So last year you guys had a new head coach, but most of your staff pretty much stayed the same. This year you got the same head coach, but now the rest of the staff seem to change. What's the vibe around that? Are you not necessarily nervous, but are you slightly concerned about it? Is there some things that you're identifying that need to be kind of addressed sooner than later, or do you think it's going to turn out for the best and there's nothing to worry about?
It's definitely like a bummer that we lost a bunch of coaches last year, but I'm really excited for this new coaching staff, and I think it's going to be really good for us.
Are there any of them that are standing out to you so far in the season? I mean, I know you guys haven't done a lot, but you've done some 7-on-7s. You obviously done a lot of your summer workouts and things like that. Are there any of them that are standing out to you right now?
I really love our weightlifting coach, our coach Herb. He's a really good guy, and he pushes hard in the weight room.
Right on, right on. Is it working for you? I mean, you're already kind of a big kid, especially for a quarterback. I think you might be bigger than some of your linemen. Um, but is it working for you? Do you feel yourself getting stronger, or what do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely helped, and I've improved a lot from it. From like not really having a weightlifting coach to now having one. Yeah, it's definitely really good for us.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad it's working. So, your old running back coach, if I'm not mistaken, is now the defensive coach as well, right?
That's correct.
Is he still doing the running backs?
No, we have a new running back coach.
Okay, all right. So new there. So he's just doing defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's just doing defense.
Okay. Now, I got to give credit because last year I felt like the defense was probably where the team might lack, and I was wrong about that. The defense did a phenomenal job. They did fantastic. Are you looking, or is it looking like it's going to be more of the same for that, or do you think it's going to look a little different?
It's definitely looking the same, if not better. We're getting used to it and like the different play calls and stuff, but I think we'll have a better outcome, if not the same.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, because listen, like all the schools are really kind of going through it. I know Tooele's got a new head coach. I don't know about their staff because I'm not in with them like that. I know Stansbury's got a new staff, new coach. And then obviously Deseret Peak is just starting up, so everything's fresh for them. And speaking of Deseret Peak, it's kind of been the theme. Everybody wants to go to the new school, and I know you guys have lost some players to that school. How do you feel about that kind of stuff?
I feel like they just wanted to find a better opportunity, I guess. Maybe thought it'd be better over there, like coaches or maybe like play time, or just wanted a new change, I guess. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, with them not taking any seniors, I think, the younger you are, if you go over there, I think that's probably a solid thing. But, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool. What sucks is that you guys don't really get to play them, and that's what really sucks. But Stansbury will play them, Tooele will play them. So that should be pretty cool. Pretty interesting to see. What game are you looking forward to the most this year?
I'd probably say Manti week 3. I'm looking forward to that game.
And what about that game is the reason you're looking forward to it?
I don't know, just through this off season, like at 7-on-7s and stuff, it's been getting pretty competitive, and like we lost to them freshman year, but we beat them last year, so I'm excited for this game. See how it comes out.
Yeah, it looks like 28-20 last year. Yeah, you guys did much better than I think a lot of people expected last year, and I think that's why they've kind of got you a little bit higher. I know, what was it? Slinging the Pill had you guys at like 3rd, I think it was, right, or something like that. How do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with that? Are you kind of nervous to have to live up to that, or do you feel like it's lower than you guys should be?
I definitely think it's lower than we should be. I think we should be higher on that list.
Oh, okay, all right. So what are your goals this year when it comes to your passing? I know you said interceptions, you want to control that, but is there a yardage mark you're looking for, or touchdown mark you're looking for? What are you striving for this year?
I'm looking close to 3,000 passing yards and like 25 passing touchdowns.
That would be a solid year. I mean, you weren't too far from that last year, so I think with your returning receivers, it's definitely doable. At that point, I think it's just play calls, right? So, which is out of your control. So, hey, you heard him, coaches. Let him throw that thing. Let him throw it. So, obviously, you guys struggled against Richfield at the end of last season. What was the biggest thing you guys kind of learned as a team from that one?
What we learned from that game is that we can't like turn on each other and just start folding. We just got to trust in each other and believe and not quit. Like we just can't give up.
Do you feel like there was a moment in that game maybe where you guys kind of did give up?
I definitely think close to like that second quarter when they started pulling away and like the end of the first quarter, I think that's where we like lost hope and just started like to give up.
And so now that you've identified that, right? What steps do you guys take to make sure that you don't repeat that in the future?
Just come out. We got to come out and fire off the ball and definitely do better than we did last year against them. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. No big deal. I mean, it's a tough. It sucks, right? Because it's like we talked about. It's hard to admit our shortcomings sometimes, especially to ourselves, but definitely to other people. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with being able to look at that and be like, yeah, no, we messed up there, and this is what we're going to do to correct that. And I think it says a lot about you that you guys have a plan for that, and that, but most of all, that you guys observe that. I think that's extremely exciting. So where does this take you? What are you looking forward to for football? Are you just doing it because you've just always been good at it, or what's the dream here?
Yeah, I've just really been doing it because I'm good at it and I love the sport. But if I get college offers, I'll definitely think about going to college. But right now, I'm just keeping my eyes open and looking forward to the future, I guess.
Right on. Right on. Is there a specific school that you would be? What's the dream college to go play for?
The dream college would probably be like somewhere like Alabama or somewhere big, I guess. If not Utah. Utah is definitely up there.
So Utah, I think, might be manageable, but you might have to hit the weights a little bit harder if you want Alabama. There are some big dudes that go down there, man. But no, that's awesome, man. I think you'd be a better fit in Utah, personally. But that's just me. I don't watch enough Alabama. When I was in the Army, everybody was an Alabama fan, so I just naturally disliked them because of that. But they're a pretty good team. They're a pretty good team. So every team has a player on the team who stands out in ways that you'll probably never see on a stat sheet. You might not even know who they are, but they're always important to the chemistry and the cohesion of a team. Who, in your opinion, would you say is that for you guys? Maybe it was last year, or maybe he's still there coming into this year. Who is that for you guys?
I'm a little confused on that question.
That's fair. So a player, in your opinion, that he's invaluable to the team. And people may not know who he is because maybe he's not standing up on the stat lines, right? But he's important to your team dynamic, an all-around great teammate, but maybe doesn't show up on the stat line. Who is that for your team?
Right now, we definitely have a couple leaders trying to step up, but Rigdon Murdoch, he's definitely stepping forward and taking control of the leadership and trying to be a leader for us.
Okay, would you say that he's an irreplaceable aspect to the team right now?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a very valuable part of us. So yeah.
Okay, right on. So obviously, as a starting out as a freshman quarterback, right? You may have had the confidence, but I'm sure there was probably a little bit of nerves there, right? Who was it that you kind of looked up to that first year that kind of eased that for you a little bit?
It was definitely the coaches. I'd say it was Alec McMorris. He was definitely there for me and rooting for me. He was in my corner and just there through all of it.
Okay. So if you could give advice to, because again, what you've done is impressive, man. I mean, I don't know how much you've listened to of this, but I've been extremely impressed with what you've done, and I only feel like you're going to get better. And I would, if I was a coach, I'd be excited to have a young quarterback like yourself because the sky's the limit. Like your fundamentals are there, your form looks great. Yeah, you rush a few things here and there, right? But those are mistakes anybody's going to make. So I'm assuming there's probably some kids looking up to you. If you could give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
I would definitely say you gotta have confidence to do anything in life. You definitely have to have confidence because if you go into it thinking you're not gonna do good or not gonna win or anything, that's just what's gonna happen. So you gotta have confidence and go into it thinking you're gonna win.
Okay, right on, right on. Is there like a quarterback that you molded your style from, or that you really looked up to that you wanted to be like?
I definitely look up to like Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart a lot.
Okay, but that's pretty recent. So that's it. When did you start playing quarterback?
I would say like all time I look up to, it'd probably be like Peyton Manning. He was definitely like who I based my game off of when I was younger and like what made me like quarterback.
Okay. All right, yeah. See, that's a name that resonates more with me. No, I mean that's cool though. I think it's pretty interesting that you look up to, I guess you could say a younger player in today's world, right? I think that's pretty cool, man. I was expecting you to say something cliche like John Elway. I can't stand John Elway. Can't stand him. Anyways, well that's awesome, man. All right, so the game you're most looking forward to is Manti. What game are you not looking forward to?
One game I'm not looking forward to is Logan. I do not like long drives. So I'm not looking forward to traveling all the way to Logan.
You know what? Hey, I don't like that drive either. So I'm not looking forward to traveling to Logan to watch you guys. But I am excited to see what they bring, though. They're new to your guys' conference this year, right? So, yeah, no, it definitely be. What do you think they're going to bring?
I haven't seen much film on them. Like, I don't really know much about them, but I think we'll come out on top for sure. Yeah.
Throw them deep balls to Jackson and Jordan and let them run the rest of the way, especially Jordan. He runs like a dang squirrel, man. He's all over the place.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that, but we also have a lot of other stuff.
I think I threw him off with that question, folks. Well, listen, young man, I think we did a pretty good job winging it. I didn't have anything prepped. I usually have some stuff prepped, man, but it was a busy day at work, and I don't think you woke up till afternoon, so I didn't know if you were going to be joining me or not. But I do greatly appreciate you doing this trial run with me because, again, I haven't had anybody in here at the same time. It's been via phone before, so I hope that it turned out all right. I haven't seen anything in the chat, but so I hope it turned out all right. And I can't wait to have you back later on in the season. Hopefully, I can figure out a few more things, and maybe we can get you and maybe your linemen or you and your receivers or something in here. I think that could kind of be pretty cool. But I got to get a few more things, I think, for that to be a reality. But again, thank you for joining me. I really do. I really am a fan of yours. I enjoy watching you play, young man. You've got a ton of talent, and I cannot wait to see what you do going into your junior year. And I'm just glad that I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was fun.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up here, guys. Dallan Van Vliet, quarterback for Grantsville High School. Get out there and check him out. Unfortunately for football, this is where I become a little bit biased because I still have a son playing, and I'm not going to miss his stuff. But I will still cover all the other schools as best as I can. So we definitely wish them all good luck as well. But this is where I get a little bit biased, and I try not to be. But yeah, no, I really like this young man. He's got it. If you haven't seen him play, come check it out. He's definitely got it. I think he's got a ton of potential, and I think he could really achieve those potential dream schools of his if he really puts his mind to it. So definitely get out there and check him out, guys. So again, don't miss the activities going on for the 4th of July, especially the 3-on-3 basketball. Yeah, don't miss that one, okay? You definitely want to be there for that. The 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We will be there. I don't know. Maybe if I get eliminated fast enough, I can just do some interviews there with some people. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we can have a good time with it. But definitely get out there. You don't need to register before the day of, but I was speaking with one of the operators of it today, and they would definitely love if you guys did. So get out there and register for that. Train, because I told you I've been training for the last week, and over a week now, actually. I'm ready for you, but I got bumped to the senior citizen bracket. So again, probably not a bad thing. I'll probably appreciate that Saturday or Friday morning, but yeah, get out there, get your kids out there. You ain't doing nothing else anyways. Don't pretend like you are. Netflix will be there when you're done. All right. Hey, so that's going to wrap it up. Again, thank you, Dallan, for being here. We greatly appreciate it, young man. Wish you nothing but the best and a great season moving forward.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a good one.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. Hope everybody has a great day. Take care of yourselves. As always, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of each other. And until next time, I'll see you at the games.